Hey there, Team QuidFit. Welcome back to Core Fundamentals Part 2. This is going to be the second video on IGTV where we're going to go over core and the fundamentals of core workouts. I have Heather here from HPW Embrace Fit. She's going to be going over the Transverse Abdominis, or the TVA, today. So I'm going to let her take the floor. She's going to explain some do's and don'ts, and then at the ending we'll go over a few exercises that are really beneficial for those core muscles. Take the road.
Take it away. Hello everybody, as Quinn mentioned, my name's Heather with HPW Embrace Fit. I am a trainer. I have a lot of background in training the deep inner core muscles and basically just training the core the proper way, right? So a lot of us are doing it wrong for so many years. So today we're going to talk about the TVA, Transverse Abdominis, what I like to call the Spanx of the abdominals. So it's the deepest inner layer of your abdominal muscles. Its main function is to take part in the exhalation process of breathing, right? So when you're exhaling, that TVA is working. It's going to help to stabilize your spine and your pelvis. It's going to help with your posture and muscle balance. It holds those organs in. It has like some serious functions to it. So the TVA is definitely something that is important to work on. And a lot of us have those weekend TVAs nowadays because we spent so much time doing crunches and things like that that are just not really working the inner core muscles. That's more of those superficial muscles that I believe Quinn touched base on in his last video. And we don't want to talk about this today. So anyway, TVA, it's important. It's going to help you get that flat tummy. A lot of people are going to lose that activation or that strength of the TVA due to inactivity, maybe possibly from a procedure they had done in the past or a surgery, from childbirth. Anyway, so today what I want to do is go over a couple different little exercises that you can do that are going to really help you work on strengthening the TVA or your Spanx. So how to upgrade your Spanx, let's talk about it. All right, so I'm going to use Quinn as my dummy to demonstrate some of these exercises. So he'll be performing the movements and I'll be hitting the cue points on them and how to perform the moves. Cool? All right, guys, so as I said, we're going to go over a few different moves here. That key point that I mentioned before, the TVA is going, the TVA, one of its main functions is that exhalation part of breathing, right? So it makes sense that working on breathing exercises is going to help to strengthen the TVA. So we're going to go ahead and start with our breathing exercises. I'm going to have our sexy model lift his shirt up here against his own will. This is just for me, really. You can't even see anything. I just wanted to see it. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to focus on that breathing. The way this is going to work, when you do your breathing exercises, you're going to do a nice deep inhale through your nose, and then a strong exhale out through either pursed lips or clenched teeth. The idea behind that is it's going to add that resistance. So you're going to have to work that TVA a little bit more. Imagine like blowing air through a straw, right? It's just not as easy. So that's kind of what we want to produce, that feeling. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in through our nose, placing our hand on our diaphragm so that we're able to feel that we're filling that belly up with air. You don't want it to come into your chest. You want to fill up that diaphragm with air. All right, so relax those shoulders down away from your ears. And we're going to focus on filling that belly up. Nice deep breath in. Good, and a strong exhale out through pursed lips or clenched teeth. And when you feel like you don't have any air left, give me a couple more seconds of that exhale to really bring that TVA in together. Beautiful. We'll do one more here. Good. Nice deep breath in. Nice long exhale out. Again, even when you think there is nothing left, give me a couple more seconds of an exhale. Really work that inner core muscle. Beautiful. So, we just practiced that breathing a little bit. You are going to take this over into just everyday life. You want to focus on this proper breathing when you're doing any sort of other exercises, whether you're in the gym, doing whatever. You want to really focus on that proper breathing. It's going to be beneficial for anything. So another one we're going to go into, since he's down here on the ground, we're going to do our bridges. This one's great because it's also going to work that booty. Who doesn't want a nice booty? And we're going to intertwine that breathing exercise in with this movement. So what we're going to do for our bridge motion, our feet are about hip width apart, our legs are bent here. We're going to tuck those hips under, tuck them, beautiful. So what we're going to do here, ultimately we're going to press those hips up to the ceiling, but before we do that, we're going to take a nice deep breath into that diaphragm again, and we're going to go into that deep exhale as we are squeezing those butt cheeks together and then pressing those hips up to the ceiling. So that nice deep breath into that diaphragm. Good. Again, when you think there's no air left, give me a couple more squeezes. Good. And we're going to lower ourselves down. Come back down to the bottom. Let's reset. Tuck those hips under again. Squeeze those butt cheeks together. Press those hips up to the ceiling. Giving that nice deep exhale through pursed lips. So you can hear them. Don't feel weird. A lot of people feel awkward breathing like this. Just do it. Who gives a shit? Who's around you? Beautiful. Good job. How do you feel? Nice.
Tight.
So,
tweet like a tiger.
Oh yes. So the next one we're gonna go into is probably like top 3 on my list of exercises for core work. He's right now checking his if he has a gap here. What will happen often, women through childbirth, or again, if you don't use it, you lose it. So some people will start to have a bit of a separation of that TVA. So like I said, it's like the Spanx. It works like a corset, so it pulls everything in together. When that starts to weaken, sometimes that starts to separate a little bit. And that's when some people get hernias and things like that, because it's basically your guts are popping out because they're not being held in by by that good old TVA. So anyway, so we'll go into and I can tell you guys how, and so can Quinn, how to check for that to see if you have any sort of that separation, also known as diastasis. There is a way to check, so if you're curious about that, reach out to us and we can tell you how to do that. Cool. So our next one is going to be the dead bugs, one of my top favorite moves. Again, like I mentioned, for the TVA, breathing exercises are really important. So are anti-rotational movements, anti-flexion movements. So let's go into our dead bug. So for this one, he's going to bring his legs up into a tabletop position here. All right, so we want a nice 90-degree angle of the legs. We don't want them too far forward. We don't want them too far back. We want them right in the middle. All right, so he's going to tuck his hips under, and we're going to move super slow on this one. Blade those hands up to the ceiling. Good job. So, not yet, but he's going to take that nice deep breath in, and as he goes into that exhale, he's going to slowly lower his leg down, tapping that heel onto the ground. Almost imagine like you're trying to smush a bug under your foot, and he's going to pace that with his breath. So we want to move really slow on this movement, all right? So let's go ahead and slowly lower down. Let's do it left leg so they can see what you're doing. Good. Bring that down nice and slow. Good. We'll raise that leg back up. Nice deep inhale on the way back up. Good. And we're going to progress this one, so we're going to straighten this leg out a little bit more, taking that bend out. So bring that heel down to the ground with a straight leg, keeping a nice neutral back here. Deep breath on the way back in. Good, moving nice and slow. Beautiful. So there's many ways, many ways to progress the dead bugs or regress them if need be. So one of my favorite exercises to do for core work, again, to get that flat tummy. A lot of men or women will be like, I have the pooch, I want it to go away, what's wrong? I'm doing sit-ups all day long. It's like, that's your problem, you're doing sit-ups all day long. So work the deep inner core muscle. That's it.
Alright guys, this is episode 2. Again, we're talking about the TVA, the Transverse Abdominis today. Give Heather a round of applause for coming in. Thanks for joining us for our live IGTV series. Next week, episode 3, we'll be talking about the internal and external obliques, the huggy muscles right here underneath your belly button that spread all the way out. For more information, look at the notes. We're going to give you some hints and tips about more things about the TVA, as well as some reps and set for the exercise we demoed today. If you have any more questions, go ahead and you can reach out to me or Heather. I'll have her Instagram also in the show notes and stuff, so you guys can reach out to her, ask her any questions, where she get the tattoos done, where she get her abs from, where she learned how to twerk like Miley Cyrus. Whatever you guys got, go ahead. Like it, share it, love it. Peace out.